So today I have the pleasure of talking with Sarah. Sarah, please go ahead and introduce yourself and your company to our community.
Hello, my name is Sarah. I run a virtual assistant agency called Watson VA Services, and we specialize in offering anything from executive assistant to personal lifestyle, personal assistant, technical VAs, and general administration. And it's all done virtually and remote. And we work with customers in the UK, Europe, and the US predominantly. And we also specialize in having bilingual VAs in our team, which is something that's close to my heart as I'm German myself as well.
Fantastic, Sarah. That's amazing. I love that multilingual and multinational helping businesses throughout the world. So how long have you been doing this for?
So I started out by myself I think it's about 3.5 years ago when I was on maternity leave with my youngest. And being a military wife, I always found it very difficult to move around and having to find a new job. And I've long been told to go out on my own. So maternity leave was the perfect opportunity. And I very quickly got a lot of inquiries. And I decided to rebrand as a limited company and as an agency model. And we're now in our 3rd year running, and we've been lucky enough to have steady growth year on year so far.
Fantastic. That sounds amazing, Sarah, and what an amazing opportunity raising your family as well. So congratulations. Throughout this time, obviously 3.5 years, we've had some economic challenges, some COVID challenges along the way. What would you say one of your biggest learnings have been throughout that time?
I think it's definitely learning to future-proof your business. It's in terms of, we were quite lucky being a remote company that most of our tasks have been carried out remotely, but we also had some companies, especially smaller companies that are run by independent people that were hit hard by COVID. And for us, it's important to be approachable if we have a plan with them, offering them a different solution rather than just having to end a contract that works also for the customer. It's being there for the customer, but also there for your business, and having that relationship with the customer enabled us to have long-running relationships with them and getting reoccurring referrals as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That retention as well and referrals is massive in a lot of businesses we're hearing at this time too. What would you say perhaps one of your challenges may have been throughout that time?
I think the biggest challenge, it was definitely the rates. Within the VA industry, the rates can differ. You can have anything from a very low figure to higher. It was finding the right customers, and also for us it's important to have a personal match with the VA that the customer works with, and it's finding that balance between what you charge the customer, taking into consideration the recession that we're going through as well, and that balance and explaining it to the customer. And we did have a period where there was, I think, a couple of months where we had no new clients at all, and we lost 2 clients, but towards the end of last year, we gained 5 new clients. So it's a constant up and down. So that is a bit of a challenge. But the main clients that we all have, they're still here. And some of them have even come back to us after they've picked up business again.
Yeah, no, and I think you're right. You know, the economy, is playing a part in how business moves forward right now. But I love the fact that people have come back to continue working with you. So congratulations. What would you say some of the steps or processes that you adopted through that time that you've kept, that you're going to keep for the future?
So we've adjusted our contracts a little in terms of what our notice periods are, but we've also added some flexibility, especially when we've just started with a new customer. One of the other services, instead of having, some agencies might operate with monthly call-ins, instead of pushing those call-ins on the clients, you rather do drop-in via email, seeing if they're happy, if they would like a check-in. Because we found customers got overwhelmed, especially during lockdown with all the Zoom calls. It was just getting too much. So we scaled back, pushing those calls and adapted to how the customers worked. And that's something we still have in place. We also do regular check-ins with the team more often. We have our own little chat and do things. I think having that sense of teamwork, despite all being remote and everyone being in different time zones, we've got people who are based far east, we've got people in the US on the East Coast and in between. So having that sense of community within the team, that was something we've reinforced throughout COVID.
Yeah, that being in touch, that sense of being, actually, I love that. And I can feel your passion and enthusiasm for bringing your team together. What would you say has been one of your biggest successes?
I think it's just getting the business started. I'll be quite honest, being a military wife and moving, it's hard work. It was very hard work, and having a young child, I think just having that step and taking that fear away from always having an employed role to also having your own business. I think taking that step and then taking the next step to being a full company that takes on people that you pay every month, that for me was a big achievement. From seeing where I've started to where we've scaled to now, we're on course to triple our income from the very first year. So that for me is the biggest step of success. But the important part is that you have that approachability for the VAs and for the customers, that you pay them fair rates based on their experience and what the client is expecting as well. And hearing from the VAs that I work with that they're happy working with me. I've had someone who's gone on maternity leave and she's come back and reached out to me again. And I happen to have a client reach out, which is perfect for our skills at the same time. So knowing that people are happy to come back to me despite the wealth of VA agencies within the UK and Europe, that is a real big achievement to me.
Where do you see your business developing in the next couple of years?
Obviously, I'd like to continue scaling how I am, and I'd like to maybe offer some other services. Like we've got very talented tech VAs and social media people on the team, offer templates and everything for other businesses such as construction, cleaning, and coaching people as well, that they can purchase the templates and that we can be there from the start. So they're very new, they want to start out, look, we've got the templates, we've got social media people, we have VAs on the team. I want to build on being more of a stop for all of the businesses, rather than thinking we can just help with administrative things, because my team is so skilled. I'm so thankful for having them, that they can help with so many more things. So I'd like to reach out in that capacity, and also maybe offer other services that we haven't in the line. We've discussed it internally, but at the moment it's still in planning.
Yeah, I love that. I love the we know that we can help in other ways as well. Just want to go back to the inspiration behind you're starting your business. I know being a military wife, having that move, that constant move around and wanting something that would fit with family and home life. But why VA? What inspired you?
I've always worked as an executive assistant, office management, and company secretary. I've got 12 years of experience. Well, at the time of starting the business, I've had about 12 years of experience. And I've actually had periods where I was working remotely for an American company. I was working in the office and at home as well. And I really enjoyed being able to go there, pick my children up from school. And I was often told by contractors who worked for the companies to start up by yourself. And I never thought about it because, the security of having your income, and taking that step to having your own business is a big and scary step when you rely on that as well. But that was one of the main reasons. And I've always done remote work. And then I realized a virtual assistant is essentially an executive assistant, office management, a secretary. It's your personal lifestyle assistant. This is exactly what I have been doing over the last couple of years. And that sort of pushed me to go into the direction of building onto my expertise. And from working as within project management and everything else, I've learned how to run a business as well. I'm still learning right now, but all of that helped me build the business. And I would like to build something for my children for the future, to show them that hard work does pay off and taking a risk.
I love that. Yeah, for your children in the future as well. Well, congratulations on that. How would you say that you have changed since being a business owner?
I've had to learn to adapt even quicker than what I've done in the past, and to adapt to different clients' needs. it's very different. Every client has a different personality that you need to adapt to very quickly. If you learn how a client's personality is, you learn how to work with them efficiently and in the best way that both parties are happy. So that was a very steep learning curve for me. I've learned to become quick and adapting, and in turn, I can help my VAs adapt to the client's personality and figure out better what their working style is that works for the VA, but also for the client. And I've learned to match, I've done recruitment in the past, and that has helped me learn even more how to match a client's personality with a VA. Because just because someone is a skill match doesn't mean the personality fits within the person they work for or their company.
Yeah.
And it's juggling still today because we're married and accompanied. My husband's about 3.5 hours away now. He's yeah, it's a lot of work juggling the kids, very early get-ups, so I can spend the afternoon for me and my kids, but it's about prioritizing not just your business needs, but also your family life.
Yeah, no, I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. And finally, what advice would you give someone starting out in their own business?
I would definitely say do a lot of research. Also, it's always good to be working within the industry that you're interested in reaching out to. Do a lot of research. I've seen a lot of VAs, for example, start up within agencies like myself because they don't have to find the clients themselves, and then slowly working up the courage to reach out on their own as well, or do both at the same time. I said, take the chance and do it. A lot of people do it alongside their full-time job. But I always think it's worth taking the risk because you never know what you could achieve.
Yeah, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing with us today. And what an incredible story. Good luck to your future success.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.